Hey, I'm gonna sing a song and then have a couple thoughts afterwards, so hope you stick around for that afterwards part. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the paper wants to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in the most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom. Your circuit's dead, there's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. That is my attempt at Space Oddity by David Bowie. Totally not nearly able to pull that off as well as he can. But I thought it was a great song. It's kind of like the ultimate alienation anthem. And, you know, here in this pandemic, I hear from a lot of people that they're kind of feeling alienation. This song was written by David Bowie, and it was right after Stanley Kubrick wrote the film 2001 Space Odyssey back in 1968. And it was right before the Apollo 11 moon landing. And so Bowie said of this song, he said, when I originally wrote about Major Tom, I thought I knew all about the great American dream and where it started and where it should stop. Here was the great blast of American technology know-how, shoving this guy up into space. But once he gets there, he's not quite sure why he's there. And that's where I left him. Just my thoughts on this is like, where are we going? I was talking to somebody about the whole concept of being part of the non-essential during this pandemic. And it can be very alienating. It can be very weird. And we don't know what to do. In psychology, they talk about the fight or flight. But there's a third one. There's fight or flight, but there's also freeze. And I think of that not just as freezing in place, but more of a freezing and embracing for impact. And it's giving in and a giving up to what's going on. And I think a lot of us were going through that where we don't know what to do. So we're just bracing for whatever comes next. So if you're feeling alienated, the thought I have about this is, no, it's not your fault that, we're all stuck in this again. You didn't do anything wrong. So often we can internalize guilt about things that we didn't really do wrong. And thinking about this spiritually, I was thinking about the story of Job in the Old Testament of the Bible, and Job talking with his friends, and they assumed that he must have done something wrong for all those bad things to happen to him. And throughout it, he's kind of like, no, I'm going to be justified. It's not my fault. And we can oftentimes start to blame ourselves. And yet, Job had that inner power to believe that God would not let him down. And so in Job 19:13 through 27, he goes through a lot. I'm just going to read a small part of it. He says, he has put my family far from me, and my acquaintances are wholly estranged from me. My relatives and my close friends have failed me. The guests in my house have forgotten me. My fellow employees count me as a stranger. I have become an alien in their eyes. And so he goes through this long list of everything going wrong. And I think we can relate. Even if we're quarantined with other people, there can be an experience of just alienation, of Groundhog's Day, where we just keep going through that same day again and again, and it can be overwhelming. And so as the scripture goes on like that, and then in 25 it says, "Oh, that my words were written down. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book. Oh, that with an iron pen and with lead they were engraved on a rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives." Others in translations, instead of saying Redeemer, says my Vindicator lives. I like that even better. My Vindicator lives. And so that's the whole thing is, this is not your fault. Don't worry, because our Redeemer lives. Our Vindicator lives. So if you're going through a feeling of alienation, of being out in space, hang in there. God is with us.